Beach Water Quality Monitoring Program. Department and committee reports. I would like to make one change there. I would like to move the sewer report, item G, up to, put it under communications and announcements, just so we can, Brian can make his report and get back to Traverse City to see his son play baseball tonight. So I'd like to move that up right under communications and announcements. Then other reports, item A is the water department wage trim monthly report. B is the fire department report. C, office of the zoning administrator, code of ordinances format update. D, planning commission report. E, personnel committee report. F, PEG commission report. H, DDA report. And under that, the executive director's report. Under new business, we have item A, consideration of approval of the presented Charter Township of Filer public inspection of records policy. Item B, consideration of approval of request from Linda DeVries to extend her rec center lease agreement for another year for the purpose of teaching jazzercise classes. And there is a proposed lease agreement included. Item C, I would like to remove at this time. We are not making any changes in that as of tonight. So remove item C from the new business. Any other additions or changes to the meeting agenda? If not, I would entertain a motion for approval.
I so move.
Support.
Motion by Cruz, support by Hachinsky to approve the meeting agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Under the consent agenda for tonight, item A, you have the minutes of the regular board meeting from May 6th. Item B, the financial report. Item C, approval of the township general fund expenditures, including the fire department checks numbering 31240 through 31333. Accounts payable totaling $27,878.22. Payroll totaling $15,948.33 for a grand total of $43,826.55. Item D is approval of water department expenditures. Checks 2009 through 2016 totaling $11,555.88. Item E is approval for the Manistee Lions Club to conduct their annual Lions White Cane Sale on May 16, 2014 at various locations in Filer Township. And item F is approval for the Manistee County Humane Society to conduct their annual Tag Day fundraiser to support the Homeward Bound Animal Shelter on August 22nd at various locations in Filer Township. Now, item E, we're just approving that post because we did not get the letter in time to act on it at the May board meeting. Any additions or changes to the consent agenda? If not, I would accept a motion for approval.
I'll motion to approve.
Second. Motion by Skira, second by Koloneski to approve the consent agenda. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, then before we get into item A on communications, Brian, would you like to give us your report?
Thank you. I know several of you guys got one of these over there. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I've got one.
Everybody else got one? I gave you one earlier? Okay. Very good. You know, I like to work the room. You probably want me here by the microphone, don't you?
Yeah, that'd be
All
good.
right, can I carry it around with me?
No.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Cozy, good.
Thank you for your time tonight. Brian Souza from Wage Trim. What I want to talk about a little bit is where we're at with the negotiations with the city on taking sewage to the city or, you know, building your own wastewater treatment plant if that's the direction that the township decides to go. And what you've got in front of you, or what I just handed out, is a list of items that we met with the city on back in on May 5th, and we said, hey, look, we've got a contract in place, but we feel this is a one-sided contract. These are the changes we need to see in that contract in order to make it, I don't want to say an advantageous situation, but a situation where we could still connect with the city instead of doing our own wastewater treatment plant. These are the kind of the tipping point numbers. So what I'm going to do, and again, these were given to the city. We met with them on May 5th. It was Terry Walker, Tim Fogarty, myself, and Tamara Bushwinka that met with Ed Bradford from the city, Mitch Deich, and Jeff McCool. And these were the exact items we discussed. So what I'd like to do is just go through these quickly, especially just really the highlighted items, because there's three main parts of this document that really make the difference between what you have now and what we're looking for. Okay, so the first item that's highlighted, amend the connection fee from $1.35 million to $500,000. We're requesting to amend that connection fee. The second item, just below that, the capital use and future capacity option payment, the CUF fee as it's called. We propose to do away with that. Just delete the CUF fee and its requirements in its entirety. Okay? And then the third the big item, which is at the bottom, the last highlighted piece there, that the user rates that are charged to the township users are the same as what the city user rates pay. And the reason that's important is the city recently completed a rate study for their water and sewer rates, okay? And what came back in that report said, all right, city, you should have two different user rate schedules, one for those within the city and a different schedule for those outside of the city. Okay, now the rate outside of the city was 200 and, I don't remember the number, 250, 260, 200 and some percent higher than what the city users pay. Okay. Now, right now, the contract that you have with the city says your users will pay the same as the city users. Okay. So this highlighted sentence here just affirms with them we want to continue with that arrangement, that the user rates that are charged in the city are the same user rates that are charged to the township users if you connect to your sewer systems. Now, one thing we want to be careful with this is I don't want to get into a situation where the city says, okay, that's great, we'll charge you the same rate as we're charging our city users, but we're going to call you outside city users and inside city. We're going to have two different groups. We'll charge you the same now. Okay, a year down the road they say, all right, we're going to raise the outside city user rates. The township doesn't have any representation on the board, city council. So what does city council do? Well, it's not affecting any of my residents, it's not affecting any of his residents. So city council passes that. So next thing you know, next year you have a little higher rate for the township. The next year you have a little higher rate. So what I don't want to get into, I don't want to have a segregated pot of users in city and out of city, even though the city might say, well, we'll start you out at the same level. We want to be called city users. We want to make sure that we pay the same amount, because if we do, and we're tied directly to that, and the city decides to raise their rates within the city, obviously the township rates would go up, but they've got people in the city that would kick and scream and raise questions and that kind of thing. So it'd be better to be tied directly with the city user rate. So that's really the three main things we want to see changed in that contract. Reduce the connection fee from $1.35 million to $500,000. Get rid of the CUF fee, and make sure that our rates as township users are equal to those of the city users. Okay. There's one other thing that's a change in here. I didn't highlight it, but if you want to read through it, you can, but I'll touch on it briefly. And it's the way that we calculate how much sewage is sent from the township into the city. Okay, the way the contract reads right now is you guys do your water meter readings, and whatever water that individual, that business, that residents use, that's how much you would charge for sewage volume. Very typical in a community to do that. However, somebody who might use 6,000 gallons a month for water, 2 of those 1,000 gallons may be going towards sprinkling your lawn, okay, irrigation. That doesn't get into the sewage system. So what we're asking to change, we're saying, well, let's not use the volume of water meters for this. Let's put in a sewage meter where that sewage then goes from the township into the city. That meter would read the exact volume that transfers from the township to the city, and we'd pay that. Okay, so it's also a good situation for the city, because a lot of times you get what's called I&I, or inflow and infiltration into a sewer system. What is that? Well, that's groundwater seeping in through the joints in the pipe. That's somebody who may have connected a sump pump to their service lead that goes out to the main, so you're getting clean water. Well, the city would have to treat that. So it's good for us, it's good for them if we do that. I don't think they'll have a problem with that. So that's essentially those changes. Now, we met with them on May 5th. We went over these exact items that actually they got a copy of this exact document, other than the one I just gave to you says presented to the city on May 5th. Obviously theirs didn't say that, everything else was the same. And soon after we were done, some of the DDA members says, we'd really like to have an answer back from the city by the June 3rd meeting. Okay, and we were kind of shooting for that. The city said, well, we're going to work as fast as we can, but we can't promise anything for the 3rd. Well, one of the things that I think kind of came out of those discussions that we had with the ad hoc committee of the DDA was that the DDAs get concerned about construction time and construction schedule. So, for example, you've got some designs that have been completed for a sewer system in the township that would attach to the city. Okay, and if the final decision was, hey, we're going to connect to the city and we're going to move on, well, those plans are not ready to go to construction. They're not ready to go to bid. They're not complete. You don't have permits for the work. I think there's a couple things that still need to be shored up with rural development. So where I'm going at with all this is, even if today you were to say, let's connect to the city, there'd be no way you would start construction this year based on the schedule. Getting the plans done, the permits in, 30-day bid period, a 30-day period for the contractor to get his bonds and insurance, 30 days from that to start construction. You're looking at October if you were to say, let's go with today. So, and you don't want to open up the ground and MDOT right away in October. So, in some discussions that we had, Tim Fogarty really was the one that wanted to get this done as quick as possible. We decided, hey, let's slow down. Let's give the city a little bit of time. Let's let the township make some good decisions. Let the city make some good decisions, and we can move forward with a little bit of time on our side. So, although we were hoping to have those answers back by today's meeting, obviously that's not the case. I met with the city, discussed with the city yesterday the process and what they're going through. They had a utility committee meeting Friday last week. That's comprised of Ed Cody, Bob Markle, and another council member.
Oh, Eric Gusted?
Yes, that was, yes. And they met just to discuss this contract. So I haven't heard back what those discussions, how they went, if they're going to accept this at face value and say, it sounds great, let's amend the contract. What I suspect is they're going to come back with some amended form of this. It sounded like they were okay with removing the cup fee when I discussed it with them yesterday. But again, I don't know what they're going to propose back to the township. So he said they expect to have that done within the next week and a half. So we should have something before the next EDA and township board meeting that we can discuss and determine which direction we want to go from there. So that's really it. I want to talk to you about the meeting, talk to you about the construction schedule, let you know that we're out of this year's construction, and that we're working with the city to try and get a fair contract for the guys. Any questions?
Okay, thank you, Brian.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for moving it up. I appreciate it.
Okay, under communications and announcements, we again have the letter of March 31st from Matt Fournier, the program coordinator for the District Health Department number 10, regarding the cost of the 2014 beach water quality monitoring program. I did speak with Matt, and Basically, that $750 fee, they've lost their funding this year. They have no funding, and so they're asking each municipality to pay at the rate of $750, which would include 10 weeks of sampling, 3 samples per week. And he did say that basically what it boils down to, everything would be the same as last year. If there's a problem encountered, if the numbers get high, they'll do a press release, just as they did before. They'll put signs at the location at Lagoon or Sunling. They would do follow-up monitoring of that, and so forth. So it would really be no different than what we had last year as far as the service provided. It's just that we're being asked to pay for it at this time. He said they are hopeful that the funding will come back in 2015, but if not, they are going to be looking at grants from the Little River Band. He did mention that Benzie already has received a grant from the Little River Band for this type of service. They just didn't get notification early enough, get theirs in early enough to receive it this year, but they would pursue it for next year if the funding doesn't come back. But he's kind of anticipating that it will come back next year. I asked him how many other municipalities were on board with this so far, and he did mention Ludington, Arcadia, several places in Oceana County. He said right now there's about 6 or 7 in that neighborhood that have jumped on board with this. Monitoring would start June 24th and run through the month of August. So it's up to the board what you'd like to do. My thought is it's a valuable service for our community, for the people that come up in the summer, people that use Magoon and Sudling, as well as all the property owners along Lake Michigan. But that's the information on it, and we do have plenty of time to act on it yet. So I guess are there any further questions or comments, concerns?
I make a motion that we go ahead and do it because we've got to have it done one way or the other.
I'll support that.
Because we're taking a chance without it. Somebody gets sick.
Okay, any discussion on the motion? Okay, we have a motion by Cruz, second by Hachinsky to go ahead with the $750 cost to the township for the beachwater quality monitoring program through Region 10 Health. Shirley, you want to do a roll call on that?
Sure. Lachinsky,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Garrett,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yep.
Kalinowski,
Yes.
Paul, yes, Walker,
Yes. Okay, public comment. Is there any public comment this evening? Okay, moving on then to department and committee reports. We have the monthly wage term report included in your packet. Fairly standard. Ron gave you a report from the fire department. Ron, is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
No, I don't have anything in addition to my report. There were 18 calls for service, 15 medicals, 2 structure fires, and 1 carbon monoxide alarm. The new lighting has been installed on the exterior of the fire station. It works really well. It's very nice, and it should result in a substantial decrease in our electrical costs. Continuing on with our training, trying to meet state and federal standards, so you're probably going to see we have some new personnel we need to get out on and do some driver training with. And also we're doing pump and drop tank training, pumping water in different locations. And then we'll also be doing some training with our mutual aid departments, with the city of Stronach, also doing pumping training. That's all I have.
You got a big training session this past weekend, I believe, or something going on?
Oh, we had
Lots of vehicles?
firefighter testing. this week.
Testing, okay.
Right, we had the firefighter class ended, and that was the state test, practical test for all the fighters. The written was on Friday night, and then the practical test was at Madison School on Saturday.
So, lots of vehicles there at the hall, at the fire hall. And
Yeah.
Hers a lot there.
Yeah, we parked, that was where they parked for the written test. And then on Saturday, they parked at the school. So we have about 27 new firefighters in the county. So it's a good thing for everyone.
So that included other departments in the county then?
This is the whole county.
Okay, thanks, Ron.
Okay, thank you.
You have Lynn's report. On your back, you can see there's been a little bit of activity. And you have the planning commission report. And a letter from Lynn there in your packets. I trust you had an opportunity to read that. I know your voice isn't real good, Shirley. Is there anything you wanted to add to that?
No,
Lynn's letter?
pretty self-explanatory.
Basically, I think it's a real good direction to go, to get all of this on our site, on our website. Easy to read, easy to look things up. So that's going to be worked on. It's going to be over a substantial period of time, probably before that all gets done, but there's a person from Mike Myers, Beckett Jones, that will be working on that. Personnel committee met last month. And you have the minutes from that meeting. Is Ruth, as secretary, is there anything you want to add to that? Or?
Not really, I just say that we found out the day before the meeting that Micah Myers, the law firm the Township uses, has a labor attorney, and we thought it would be wise to contact them, and so that we're up on the minimum wage requirements and labor laws and all that, because we're not. So that's what we're going to do.
Okay. PEG Commission, that's your monthly report. Dean or Dale, is there anything you want to add to that? I'm just curious.
That Custer with scooter. It's a dancing show, so it's kind of
A new show?
Line dancing.
line dancing.
They go various places and do this. It's a group that sticks together. It's basically the same group all the time. They also invite people to come in and learn how to do line dance. Teach them.
So if you want to learn how to line dance, you really do a nice job.
Oh boy.
Has anyone had an opportunity, since the mics were here for the last meeting,
Yes.
anybody watch on TV any of the meetings to see if
I did.
sound was improved? I
Yeah.
tried to go on and watch it on my computer, and I couldn't get it
I couldn't get it.
on the PEG Commission website.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you typing in mansfield.tv.org?
No, I think I went to the PEG website, and then it had the option to view meetings, and you can select the meeting and so on.
Because I don't know, I didn't try that, but ManateeTV.org works fine.
Okay, I'll try
So
that.
that, and yes,
That's why we got them a little bit closer too.
Okay.
I think that,
Sound picked up better?
yeah, but it still needs some work, and tonight as well, because I got a bad cable tonight, so it won't be as good as it could be. It's getting there.
Okay.
I get it so Ed can get it. What?
Well, I got a lot of those people that live over in behind the farm and the condos there. They get
Rise
all,
point.
yeah, they want it louder. But I said, you guys, I don't know. We're trying the best we can do to get it up where we want it.
Okay, thank you. DDA report, you've got something from Tamara there, and in terms of what she's been working on, what she's completed, and the works that are in progress. I thought she was going to be here to give a report, but I think several of you heard her report at the DDA meeting, 5 o'clock, and she's really moving. She's doing a lot of stuff right now, a lot of good things in the works, and I'm real impressed with the work she's done so far, the research she's done, and so on. So let's move on to new business. We have a new policy to consider approving. You should have a copy of that. Public inspection of records policy. And I know basically Lynn and Shirley did a lot of work on this, put it together. And is there anything you wanted to add to that, Shirley?
No, only that this is something that's recommended that we have. It's things that we do, but it's never been written. So it's here, and everybody then will be on the same page or with the rules.
And it's in writing, as Shirley said, which is highly recommended. We were at recent conferences that you need a policy for everything. And this particularly, we should have a written policy for. So that's what that is.
Sure, just 10 cents a copy, that'll cover it.
10 cents a copy may be something that we're going to be having to do no matter what, because there are certain things in the works as far as law changes. So 10 cents a copy is what we charge now when we did a study on it some time ago. Our copy machine, for instance, is a leased copy machine. When you figure out how many cents you pay for the lease and the amount of ink and paper and that, 10 cents was good.
I guess what I mean is, we should be charging more than 10 cents.
Well, you can't make money on it. You
Can't
have
make
to
money.
cover your costs.
Seems reasonable.
Any other questions or comments?
I said, go ahead and do it.
Second.
Okay, motion by Cruz, second by Skira to adopt the Charter Township Ohio Freedom of Information Act policy. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor, signify. Oh, okay, roll call. Yeah, go ahead, roll call.
Ball, yes. Walker,
Yes.
Scarra,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Kaczynski,
Yes.
Donowski.
Yes.
Okay, next item, B, we have for approval, request Linda agrees to extend her rec center lease agreement for another year for the purpose of teaching jazzercise classes. And Linda and I had some discussion about 2 or 3 months ago about this, and she had some concerns with the way the contract read, and so those concerns have been addressed. Otherwise, it's basically the same contract that we've dealt with. The only change is that the annual contract may be terminated by either party with 1 month advance notice. The concern Linda had was if she generally pays a month in advance. She's been one of our best renters, but if she were to have a class ready to go and it fell apart for any reason, people didn't change their mind about taking it over, if she were to get injured, not be able to teach the class, and she's locked in for a year, it's not a good thing, and I can understand that. So, and we did discuss it a little bit with Richard, and basically the contract you have in your packet is the result of those discussions.
And the rates are the same then as what they were?
Yeah, rent is going to remain $160 per month.
And Ed, you're in charge of the place.
It's in danger.
Well, you won't believe it. Sunday, I got called, and it's really hot, and all the doors are open and everything. I went there and I said, well, you can't air condition all the air outside. Turn it on. Well, we didn't even know we had it. But it cooled down in a hurry anyway.
Well, I could make a motion that we have this contract, this agreement, at least within the degrees of the township.
Second.
Motion by Cruz, second by Williams to approve the rec center lease agreement between the degrees and the township. Any other discussion? Call the motion.
Williams,
Yes.
Kuczynski,
Yes.
Vaughn, yes, Cruz,
Yes.
Kalinowski,
Yes.
Kara,
Yes.
Walker.
Yes. Public comment. No public comment. Okay. Anyone have anything else bring before the board? Dean, you got anything?
This proposal, the current one, it just
Yeah, we're at this point,
still waiting for something on the fire chief and the assistant.
well, no, that dealt with the fee for cutting weeds and grass.
Oh,
That
no,
people
no,
didn't
this-
cut, and changing the fee.
Okay.
And if you look at the current and the new one on the second page, it's highlighted in yellow.
I got it.
But we were just informed the other day that
Can't do
we
that.
can't do that, and so we're going to leave it what it is right now for the time being. But Lynn and I discussed this quite a bit today, and the way the ordinance is written, she has really bent over backwards in the past to help people out, giving them second chances and third chances. The language says July 1st, and so, and a lot of it is repeat offenders, and so we decided we'll just go ahead. She will do the notice in the paper the next 4 weekends, so they have plenty of advance notice of this. It will be on the website, and July 1st, we'll send John to start cutting grass.
How many parcels does that include? Is there a lot of them?
You mean how many could it include?
A lot.
All of, okay, Filer City,
No.
all of the unplatted, this is unplatted land?
How many do we have to do when we
what we've been
Big
doing.
issue, yeah.
There've been 2 or 3 down in Filer City that have been done. To my knowledge, only a couple up here in Oak Hill.
So it's not a lot.
It's not a lot, but it's always been a hassle in terms of, by the time it gets cut, it's usually the end of July, and it's a hay field, and once it's cut, it looks terrible. And so the Planning Commission is working on changing that, but it's not ready to go yet. So right now, we're working under the same as we have in the past, July 1st and September 1st.
And if that's not paid, it goes on a tax roll.
If it's not paid, it goes on the tax roll, yes.
Well, my last comment, it's nice weather out there.
Yes. Gail, do you have anything? Oh. Julie? Ruth?
Have you, anybody got any feedback on the brush pickup?
Oh, yeah, the brush pickup.
They were done last week. When did I get this call from Eric? I want to say it was Thursday. Yes, it was Thursday he called. And they were finishing up when he called. And the week before, they were off one day. Scott had to call the crew off to go on another job. So it looked to me like it was done in 4 days the one week and 4 days last week, 8 days. Which was pretty
Shorter time then.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I never really got out and looking to see how much was out there, just other than what I noticed driving around. And
Well, right off the road probably took half of it.
yeah,
I would be safe to say.
usually does.
What's his name?
Everybody has barely stopped.
Eric,
Eric.
Yeah.
Eric told me about the same.
yeah,
No, I
A
didn't.
little more is done on that side,
okay.
but he said, I think it seemed down by my place, it was, they were getting, they were done on this.
Yeah.
I mean, let me see what there was. There wasn't that other than that, there wasn't much.
Ed, do you have anything else?
Yes,
Ooh.
we got water in the park at Magoon Creek. The pump works.
Good.
Did Benson come?
Yeah, I called him up, I was gonna race game with him, I said, hey, I made an appointment a year ago and you still haven't got there. He said, I'm telling Mr. Williams, we give the post we had to take out, we're there and gone. And he says that we should have our spring cleaned. Because he said that's giving you a lot of problems. And the pump's hard.
Good.
But it pumps water, anybody can water their dog at least. Then I got another complaint. Can we ask PCA to put up some gates or something, you know, that little chunk of woods where, down by Madison School? Have you been in there lately?
Nope.
Go in there.
That 2-track?
Yeah, that's 2-track. It is a real junkyard. There's beds, mattresses, stoves, toys, and then a lot of stuff is plastic, that'll never rot. But somebody's taking advantage of that.
Right off of Linwood there, right?
Huh?
Right off of Linwood?
Yeah, but they really go down the whole, I see them cars going all the time, brush and stuff. But they go down, consumers, and there's a little drive that goes south. And they even went as far as to cut a chainsaw, cut the trees so they got a good road in there. So,
Yeah, there's a lot of garbage back there. I've been back there.
have you? I went
I'll
back.
have to take a ride and look at it.
Yeah. You can get it right off of the 2-track though. Nothing else.
We'll have to look into that.
Pardon?
We'll definitely have to look into that then.
Yeah.
Tom, do you have anything? Nothing. Then I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
That's so moved.